Maniac, either of those would be fine. Looking at this pile, probably Pig Breeder's the best card here. Yeah, none of the rest of these are doing that much for me. I like Crop Rotator, but I think Pig Breeder, I'm much more likely to play Pig Breeder than Crop Rotator. Alright, here, Dove Hunter, I think, almost for sure. Dove Hunter because I'll be able to eat cattle. I can buy a pair of sheep and eat it right away, and then buy cattle and similar thing. Makes me able to skip out on getting a cooking hearth for a while. Livestock Keeper would be good, but Dove Hunter is the better card. So. Alright, looking here. I think the best card is probably Pear Peeler. Gives me a way of getting grain and vegetables, which I don't really have yet. Yeah, Good Friend's okay, but I think Pear Peeler's better. Pear Peeler I can also play later on into the game. I don't have to play it super early. Hopefully the quality's okay. Seems like I'm dropping some frames. Sorry about that. If that's not really a whole lot I can do about the frames dropping aside from picking a different time to play and yeah, I guess I'll close Discord. Yeah, the audio's got to be cutting in and out. I would guess. Probably the video too. Hmm. All right. What do we have here? Animal buyer, social climber. Um, Parvenu would be neat. Could be neat for getting a bunch of clay or reed. Animal buyer. I don't think I'm gonna go for that. Although with animal buyer, I could play it and then buy cattle. So it would be like +2 each harvest because I could buy a cattle and then immediately breed it. Hmm. I think it's kind of redundant though with my animal breeder. Social climber is a pretty good card. I guess with animal breeder, I don't mind going to clay early. Bone collector could be quite good in this specific situation. Generally, I don't think it's all that strong, but you know what? I'm gonna go for bone collector. I think it actually could be pretty good for me this game. I'll take Unicycle Driver just because it's the best, has the best effect. Don't think I'm likely to play any of these cards though. And Dancer. I like Dancer quite a bit, but I'm going to be setting up a different way of feeding. So a card like Whale Oil is kind of nice when you're going to play occupations late into the game. I think though the best card here for me is going to be Bookmark, because Bookmark will let me in round one do 3 wood and then starting player Bookmark, and I think that'll be like one of the best starts that I could hope for. Lettuce Patch would be good as well. I wouldn't mind Witch's Dance Ground too. Maybe I should do Lettuce Patch here. Yeah, Lettuce Patch is a better card. Then here, Ox Team, and it's not even close. I know I have to pass Goose Pond and Camembert, both of which are decent cards, but Ox Team is going to be a nice and easy instant 3 plow for 3 wood. Very strong. So I'm playing an EIK WM France deck with G4, G5, 4 with Bigfoot, Fironics, and Stigsal. All of them very experienced players. Should be quite a good game. If you watched the game from yesterday, which I played with Joe, the 3-year I played with Joe, Joe put a pretty interesting discussion on the. I posted the game onto the forums, and Joe made a neat post about what his thoughts were, and yeah, so you should go take a look at that. I also linked it in the comments of that video, so if you've already watched it and you missed that, go check that out because I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, so the reason I went with Bone Collector, I kind of went over it quickly. With Animal Breeder, I'm going to want a ton of wood, and I want to get it pretty quickly because I want a fence early and often. So Bone Collector should be like a pretty, give me a pretty large amount of wood, like at least 6 or 7 wood throughout the game, because I'm going to be eating cattle for sure, and probably boar as well. Because Bone Collector with the sheep is not fantastic, I don't think, but with the cattle and boar is great. Boundary stones, rake, field, basket. Um, Probably field. Rake would be decent, but I think field. So my thinking is I'll starting player Ox Team at some point to get 3 plows. Then in round 13, I'll starting player field to set up the round 14 plow sow. Yeah, and I should have with pear peeler 2 grain and 2 vegetables for a very nice amount of points. So yeah, my whole game, my early game is going to be all about setting up the animals, and then my late game will be getting points from crops. Looking good so far. Powder keg with oh, I didn't end up taking social climber. See, I'm not going to do renovation materials or powder keg. Pretty good for the social climber though. Some good cards here. Children's playground is nice. Yeah, Children's Playground is nice. A point for wood for 2 points, but I want to score a high number of animal points, so I think I don't want to play it. I think I'll take Chicken Coop here. Chicken Coop is a pretty nice card. Puts down your first room, puts your first room a little back, but it gives you a very nice amount of food. So if I could work this game such that I get cattle breeding, what's it going to take for me to get cattle breeding in stage 1? I'm going to have to play animal breeder, do 2 wood actions, and then do a fence action. So that's 4 moves right there. And then I'm going to need a way of feeding. So I'll need to get like 3 or 4 food because I'm going to spend 3 food on my cattle. And I'm going to need more food than that because I'm going to want to be able to play Dove Hunter and Bone Collector in stage 2 or in stage 1 as well at any point really. But that's where the Dancer helps. So I could use Dancer for that. I can also think about Unicycle Driver. Nice thing with Unicycle Driver and Pear Peeler is I could link the 2 wood spaces and then leave, because it's whenever you use an action. Oh no, Unicycle doesn't count. Oh, I can use. Yeah, okay, that seems like it works. So I can combo Pear Peeler and Unicycle Driver if I want to. That'd be nice. I'll do Corn Sheaf here. Just because there's not really that much else. Machete is okay. It's actually quite good for points. You can harvest all the 1 grain, and then yeah. If you play an occupation, you receive a clay. It's all right, not fantastic. I think Machete is pretty good. There's some pretty good cards for multiple strategies. I'll take Shepherd's Pipe. I don't think I'm likely to play any of those 3 cards, but Shepherd's Pipe is the most likely to be useful for me. So I have been dropping a lot of frames. Really sorry about that. I don't know. I'll take a look at this Twitch VOD afterwards to see if it's worth uploading to YouTube. Because if my audio is constantly cutting out, then maybe it's not worth it. So I do end up 4th. So this is where taking Bookmark would have been nice. But I mean, I have Corn Sheaf, which is a fine play. I have yeah, Corn Sheaf is a fine starting player action. Patron for Stigsal. Oh, play an occupation. Oh, I'll play Dancer. Gives me a decent last action to do. All right. So I have here Animal Breeder, Pig Breeder, Dove Hunter. So I'm gonna feed using animals, get a ton of animal points. I have ox team and pear peeler and lettuce patch, which should allow me to get maximum points from crops as well. So I'm going to have a very pretty farm. Probably means I'm going to stay on 3 rooms because I'm going to want to spend my wood on. I'm going to want to spend my wood on. Oh, what am I trying to say? I'm going to want to spend my wood on fences rather than on rooms. So I play Dancer, which is a card that lets me go on traveling players and get 4 food every time I do. Minimum of 4 food. So it's a pretty good action. That makes it a very good second action in stage 1, which is nice. There's a Dancer, or bookmark from Bigfoot. Um, yeah, I'm surprised Dancer got all the way around. Dancer's a pretty nice card. It just it's like a amazing fallback. Like if you have Dancer, you can do pretty much anything in the first 2 stages. Like it's like if it falls, you gets to do lots of Reedstone food, then you're happy. But if the game doesn't go that way, you have some very good backup plans. So do I Reedstone food here? Do I take wood? Do I 2 reed? I think I 2 reed. So I think what I'm going to be doing is going for the first room. So my second action will probably be to dance again because 3 wood's going to get taken. And then I'll set up my animal breeder in the mid game because with Dancer, I don't need to rush the cattle in the first or second harvest. I can wait until this round. Oh, but then the puppeteer gets played. Well, if Bigfoot takes 4 clay and passes me 3 wood, then I'll take wood and skip out on dancing. So the puppeteer is a card that nails me. I did not know about it. That's why the dancer got so far around. And what do we have here? Walrus Hunter. So Bigfoot. Bigfoot might do 4 clay cooking hearth because he wants to get boar on fishing. So that's alright. So I get 3 wood. Yeah, and I'm quite happy with that. So the thing is, I don't want to feed the puppeteer too early on. I don't mind feed. I'll probably do another dance action in round 3 or round 4, but I don't need to be doing it every round. So if I let the puppeteer get like one other action off, I don't mind. Or one, and then there'll be another one later in the game. So, of course, with the patron, it's a nice combo. However, that's 2 actions into playing occupations easily, and when you do that, like obviously Stigsal had to draft those pretty high, because I didn't see them. They're 2 of the first 3. They're the first 2 picks actually. Yeah, definitely their first 2 picks. So that means the other cards they drafted were not as strong, like that actually have effects. So we'll see. Fironics playing Farm School Graduate. That's got to be his first pick, right? Because I didn't pass that. So he must have first picked Farm School Graduate. Good card. I wouldn't have taken it first pick compared to something like Animal Breeder, which has a way stronger effect. So I'll do a 3 wood and then dance again. And I'll be in excellent shape for building the first room. So what, 13, 10? Yeah. So that's much later than I normally see the clerk played. Normally I see the clerk played in one of these two, for one of these two harvests, because I think those are, like this harvest is one of the most difficult ones. So I usually see it here, because like getting 8 or like 7 or 8 food here can be pretty huge. I should have done the other 3 wood action because I want Bigfoot to starting player. So I wouldn't mind him starting player so that I have the choice. Fironics gets another Reedstone food action, which is pretty crazy. So the question in chat, what's a good measure of how many rooms you should build? Uh, the question is how many resources can you acquire throughout the game? So um, if you have a way of, like, I'm gonna want to hold a lot of animals. So in order to hold animals, I want them to breed, and that means I want to be able to hold them early on in the game. So it means instead of building a second wood room, like you almost pretty much always want to build one room, but instead of doing a second room, um, instead of doing a second room, um, um, I'd rather put that 5 wood into fencing, and so it's, yeah, it's a question of how many resources you're going to be able to accumulate. Like if you have a way of fencing easily or a way of getting points other than from animals, for example, then usually you want to build a second room because that second room lets you hold another person, which is a ton more actions. Um, played rice farmer. Seal for Fironics and clerk for Stigsal. I think I've focused on this already. Yeah, so it's all about how many. The other question is what. There's also the question of how. What do you need? Um, what do you need to be? Oh, this is cool. Bigfoot's gonna have breeding boar this early on. That's really strong. It's also a question of what do you need to do in order to have a high scoring game. So for example, in this game in particular, I'm going to be able to have a very pretty farm because pear peeler, ox team, animal breeder, pig breeder, I'm going to be able to have a lot of points from animals, fences, crops, and fields. That's going to be pretty easy for me to do. So that means that I should be able, I'll have a very high scoring farm. So if I don't have a ton of points from my house, that'll be okay because I can make up for that with a really nice looking farm. Now, of course, you always do want to accumulate as many points as you can. Like the other thing is, I don't have anything giving me bonus points. So when I don't have anything giving me bonus points, that means you have to have a pretty farm. Like I won't be able to have any. Probably if I have any negative points, I'll lose, excluding maybe unused spaces. There's Writing Maniac from Bigfoot, so that's why he needs so much food. So that's really cool. I like this. I really like this play from him because he's going to be able to take another boar, let them breed, and then eat it at the start of round 5. So I've got 4 wood here or building a room. I think 4 wood is um, significantly better, especially when I know I'm going to need a lot of food wood this game. Might have been a mistake letting Stigsal build a room ahead of me, but if Stigsal doesn't, I'm happy to build a room with my second action. Um, yeah, the other thing about how many rooms do you need to build, it's also a question of what will your cards allow you to do. So if I get a card that gives me a ton of clay, or if you get a card that lets you hold a fourth person in your house or whatever. Like there's a reason that those cards are so strong, like Farm Steward, Remodeler, that kind of thing. Those cards are quite nice because they let you get a fourth room very easily, and that fourth room is a huge upgrade over three rooms because often you don't have to compete so hard for the family growth space to do that, which is really nice. Just as long as you have a feeding engine. So like Bigfoot here has put a ton of work into having a nice feeding engine with Walrus Hunter, Writing Maniac, Pen Builder. So it means that he's lacking on resources, but he's doing pretty well otherwise. Um, so I imagine Fironics will do Farm School Graduate. What do I want to do? I can play an occupation here. Probably that's. I could do starting player. I'll just play an occupation for simplicity. I'm gonna play. I'll play animal breeder here. Why not? Get it out there. Or I could play dove hunter. No, probably animal breeder. Fironics plays Parvenu, so he's gonna double the amount of read. So he has a crap ton of read. Quite a nice start for Fironics. Make it easy for him to get Basket Maker's Workshop and get a good amount of food from that. Oh, Family Growth comes out round 5. So that's good for Stigsal. It's pretty good for me too because it's going to be really easy for me to build and grow. Actually, no, I need 2 reads still. I'm still 2 actions away from building. I'm 2 actions away from building 2 rooms. But with the other thing to consider, how many rooms should you build? When Family Growth comes out earlier, you want to build more rooms because the Family Growth queue will reset. Like if all 4 of us grow in turn, you can grow again in round 9, and so you're gonna get another person and still have like 5 rounds left to go, which is awesome. Um, yeah. I want to set up so that I can do. Do I want to do 2 read double build? If I do that, it's going to push back my animal breeder too much. Yeah, I think it's probably not worth it. I think it'll be better for me to get my cattle breeding, and then I can go back and look at doing another room. But with my first action here, since the build room action is totally uncontested, I can take 5 clay because 5 clay is a nice action here. So yeah, okay. So for the on my to-do list, build a room, family growth. So I'm gonna need 6 food because I'm gonna grow in round 6. Um, I need 6 food plus I need 3 from my animal breeder because I'm gonna buy cattle. So I'm gonna need 9 food total, and then so that's one more. That's one more dance action. So I could dance in either of the next 2 rounds and have enough to have enough food. So that's okay. That's looking good. And then I'll have bred cattle this early, which is really nice. I can play Dove Hunter. I can play Bone Collector in stage 3. That'll be quite good. Well, this is cool for Bigfoot. Immigrant Son is really nice for him. Writing Maniac makes it easy for him to play all all 7 occupations. Immigrant Son rewards you for doing that. He's also playing Grotto, which will let him get his 3rd room. So kind of interesting that looks like he's not going to build a room for a while, and he's using Grotto as kind of a way around that, I guess. I'll build my wood room here. So I have a couple choices with this action here, because I'm not gonna have to I'm not gonna have to grow with my first action. So that means I can do like take 4 wood, or I can take 2 reed, or I can play an occupation. Okay, he took that. So what do I want to do? I could take a reed and then play chicken coop. So I could reed stone food and then chicken coop. That'll be a nice amount of food. Yeah. Otherwise, what minor do I play? Corn sheaf, field? I can't play lettuce patch yet. Yeah, I like that. It also makes it harder for me to get totally denied on food. Actually, it's really unlikely I'll get totally denied on food in any case. Um, this is interesting. Stigsal plays market stall to get a vegetable. Gonna have a vegetable going quite early, so that's kind of cool. We also have Fironics renovating, playing BMW. So looking like Fironics looking like he wants to build a clay room rather than a wood room. Seal is going to give him a bunch of clay, so that's really nice. I like that quite a bit. Um, might be that I made a mistake. Maybe I should have taken 2 reed with the eye of building a room in round 7 and growing again. Because certainly with Dancer, my feeding should be very safe. But then that delays another harvest of getting my cattle breeding. I'm not sure. Kind of hard to say. Good friend here for Stigsal. Decent card. Gonna get something from Chicken Coop when I play it. So next round I want to dance. Well, actually, traveling players is not even going to be a dance. It's just going to be a 4 food action. I want to take 4 food. I want to fence. And then I have 1 free action aside from that. Probably to play an occupation. Play something like Dove Hunter or Bone Collector. There's the room for Fironics. So Fironics is building in turn, and Bigfoot is also setting up to being able to build a wood room with that 2 reed action. I have to imagine he's going to build a room and use Grotto. Yeah, especially with Family Growth coming out in round 5, I think he's probably going to do that. Oh, this is nice. 1 vegetable per harvest is excellent. Really excellent. Oh, Stigsal's gonna get a 6 wood action. Yeah, Stigsal's in a really strong position. Hmm. Oh, I'm really happy that Stigsal did 3 food here because it means that that this is only going to be a 1 food action, which means it's worse than day labor, so it means my dancer should be quite safe. Storehouse Minder. This is a nice card. I like this card quite a bit. You can use it to get an early wood and reed, or an early stone and reed, and then like 2 or 3 wood, and then, yeah, it's quite nice. And you have more control over it than Good Friend, and it gives probably a similar amount of resources. So I'll do 4 wood here. It's possible that my dancer gets blocked, but I think it's pretty unlikely. 4 wood is a good enough action that it's worth the risk. And worst comes to worst, I can fence and get a pair of sheep because I have enough food to do that and still feed. Fironics grabbing joinery as well. Interesting. I generally don't consider joinery to be that strong, so for him to go for it this early is a bit unusual, but maybe he's got a reason to do so. Like, like the joinery upgrade, sawmill. I don't think I passed him sawmill though. Oh, maybe just thinking he wants to eat a lot of resources. I thought Bigfoot was getting closer to. Oh, I should keep this lid over a little so I can see his animals that are over there. To keep track of that. I'm gonna fence here. Fence 4. And then 3 food for 2 cattle. Okay, yeah. Bigfoot playing lamp oil. That's nice. I mean, it's only going to be 2 food at this point, but something. And then Stigsal plays starting player apple tree, probably. So Stigsal sitting on that starting player space. Actually, no. Only 3 times, I guess, with one passing minor, so. Oh, that's really good for Stigsal. Gonna be able to let them get the well. So they're having a really, really good game. Hmm. Will I be able to win if I stay on 3 rooms? Am I gonna be able to get enough points? If I get the well, yes. But there's no way that Stigsal lets anyone else get the well now that they have 3 stone. So, hmm. How much more wood do I need this game? I need 11 for 15 fences. I need 3 for my ox team. I need 1 if I play machete, so that's 19. I think I can pretty reasonably expect bone collector to be 5 wood, so I'm gonna need about 13 or 14, which is 4 actions. Yeah, I don't think I have enough time. I already have. Oh, I guess I already. Yeah, it's only gonna be 2 or 3 actions left on wood. Hmm. Yeah, I think I need to. So, okay, I'm gonna need to play Dove Hunter. Probably I need to fence another space and get pigs breeding. Go for a ton of boar points. I am going to need to get a way to eat those boar so I can start using them for food as well as to generate wood while I do so. And then I also want to get my pear peeler played so I can start accumulating crops. Could grab 2 stone here if I thought that I had a chance for hmm. Okay, what are my 3 actions gonna be? I want to probably play pear peeler, and then next round I'll play dove hunter. So reedstone food would get me another stone, and it gets me another reed, which I'm gonna need to reno. What's that stone gonna be used for, though? I want to do that. Get boar breeding. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, I guess Bigfoot has 2 more growths to do, and I don't know, is Stigsal going to grow 2 more times? I'm not sure. Or 1 more time? Probably with that read action. I would guess yes. Oh, there's Muddy Bog. I don't think I've focused in on this. Just a free point, some clay, so it's good. Mayor candidate. Good. So Bigfoot gets to grow in round 4, but he's going to be able to grow twice in a row. And he's had quite a good setup, I have to say. So here I will play Pear Peeler. I guess Pear Peeler might have been a mistake because I want to play Dove Hunter and Bone Collector next round. But losing one round on Bone Collector is only 1 wood. I think it's still worth playing it because I can do stables later on in the game with that wood, and it'll also let me hold more animals, which I am going to be kind of pressured on that. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get a pair of boar. I actually don't need to eat any animals this round, and I'm still okay. But the reason I would want to play Dove Hunter next round is because Dove Hunter is only 1 per harvest, and you get super good conversion off of it. Yeah, Stigsal plays the well, Reno well, no surprise with that mayor candidate. Pretty nice. 3 woods gone, so I will just fence. So this is quite nice. It's round 8 and I already have 2 breeding pairs. That's good. So for next round I want to play Dove Hunter, and then what else do I want to do? Oh, I should take that 5 wood off because I don't have it anymore. And then probably I want to do a bunch of actions taking wood. So like if 3 wood's available, I'll grab it for sure. Forester. I guess it, yeah, I guess it doesn't cost him an action, and he gains a field off of playing it. I'm a little bit surprised he played it. So there's 3 stone available. So I could grab it and then think about building stone oven. I think though what I'm gonna do instead is not grab it. I'm gonna read stone food 1 more time. Then I'll have enough resources to renovate to a stone house, and I'll do like 2 minor, 2 major actions. Like 1 get cooking hearth, 1 fireplace, 1 minor, something like that. Bigfoot grabbed that 3 wood, so I'll play Dove Hunter here. do need to get Ox Team played in one of the next 2 rounds. It's unlikely I'll have enough wood to get it done this round, but yeah, in one of the next 2 I need to play it. So I gotta keep that in mind when I take wood next. Kind of tired of being last, but I'm not sure I have the actions to jump into starting player. I think what I do is I reno here and see what comes back around. So I'll do reno lettuce patch. And then I'll either take vegetable with my dove, or do a grain and a wood, or do, I don't know. Yeah, do a grain and a wood would be okay. Take a vegetable to put it on the lettuce patch. I don't know, something like that. I could still do starting player. I could starting player field, for example. Or starting player corn sheaf. Yeah, actually, machete combos with lettuce patch so that you can generate 8 vegetable or 8 food per harvest. Because machete lets you harvest all of the resources on one field, and lettuce patch says every vegetable you harvest from here can be turned into 4 food. So that is 8 food per harvest really early. But you do have to keep spending an action to take vegetable and then sow it. And of course, you're not increasing, and it's 2 actions for 4 food, which is only as good as Dancer and is not that great later on in the game. But yeah, it's an interesting combo. If you could, I don't know, buy vegetable or something, it would be pretty nice. Or if you had something like Haberdasher, where you want to go on sow and play minor improvements. I like Haberdasher. I miss it. I wish I had got it in this game. I think it's a cool card. Alright. I'm still last, am I? I'm going to take a wood and a grain. So the one danger with a card like Pen Builder is you can end up spending all your wood holding animals, which means that you're not going to be able to fence your farm, which is a problem. Which I think is kind of a bit of a trap that Bigfoot's falling into, but the Forester does help alleviate that somewhat. Now, it doesn't actually let you, at this point it's only going to give him 3 wood total, which is not that great, but I don't know. Fironics plays Mountain Plowman. It's a pretty good card. Stigsal playing Witch's Dance Ground. I would have liked this card because then it's easier for me to fill my farm with smaller things. Looks like a couple 3 wood actions are going to get back around, so that's good, because what I'll do is take 2 wood and leave, or take a wood and a vegetable. So do that. And then I want a starting player, Ox Team first action, round 11, and then probably do a sow action later that round. So yeah, I want to keep getting wood and crops. That's the name of the game right now. Getting wood and crops. should have done that on the 1 wood space. That was not a good action here because this is going to be taken for sure, but the 4 wood might, what I want is as many spaces as possible where I can take a crop and still get wood. So that's why I want to go on this 1 wood space, because then it'll become um, 3 wood again, and it's basically keeps this at 3 wood constantly. Yeah, I should have done that. That was a mistake on my part. Oh well. Fironics has a crap ton of improvements played. Maybe Fironics has no, he doesn't have Bragger because he first picked farm school graduate. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. The last fireplace is gone, so I need to make sure I get this cooking hearth, because without the cooking hearth, bone collector is not going to give me much, if any, wood, and my feeding later on in the game will get that much more difficult. So I'll do another wood action here. So I need to take at least 1 wood. So I'll take 2 wood and a grain. And I have a food here from my chicken coop still. And my third action could be starting player Ox team, because I have a nice juicy 5 wood action here that I've set up. So yeah, that would be fine if I do that. Or I could do 3 wood again. I don't think 3 wood will come around again. These other guys need wood. They're gonna start taking it. So yeah, sorry, Witch's Dance Ground. I didn't zoom in on that. Lets you, it's like a 2 point miner most of the time, with the drawback being that you have to lose some spaces on your farmyard. But of course, if all that means is that you fence 2 spaces smaller on your fences, or you do 2 fewer fields, which you weren't going to do anyways, it can end up being alright. Oh, I have the last action of this round too. I didn't think about that. So there's going to be 2 5-wood actions if I do starting player here. Yeah, I'll do it. Hmm. Bigfoot plays crop rotator. So he did do a sow action here. Stigsal has nothing to sow on. So I think I'm doing okay. Take all 5 of this wood. Oh, crop rotator works with forester. Ooh, that's really nice. Okay, that explains so much more. So he's actually gonna get like 4 or 5 wood out of it. Nice. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have enough wood to do all the rest of my fencing, but think I'm still going to want to get more wood for stables. So I think it's still worth for me to play. Is it still worth playing Bone Collector, or is it better just taking the wood? Because Bone Collector is an action. How many is it going to give me? If I don't build a cooking hearth, which at this point it's looking like I'm not going to build a cooking hearth, because Dove Hunter's keeping me plenty fed. Oh, Stigsal did fences, so I'm not able to fence this round. That's too bad. I do still want to sow, though, so my sow action should be safe. Because, yeah, no one else really can do it. Oh, Bigfoot can do it with that plow he just did. Hmm. Well, I'll do it just to be safe. So do I starting player here? If family growth comes around 12, starting player here is the right move. If it doesn't, it's just plow sow. I do want a plow sow action. And I can still always plow sow round 14 because I'll have one space left. So I could starting player field here. Could take wood. Does that work as a planted field? I think it does. Planted card counts. Forester Copse. Yep. Okay, I'll play Bone Collector. Okay, so if I play Bone Collector, then when I do Reno, I want to do Reno Cooking Hearth. That means I need to take clay and then eat a bunch of boar. Or I could just let all my animals accumulate, in which case I should do Reedstone food. Hmm. I guess I'll do... I'm still starting player. Holy crap, starting player has not been grabbed yet. Alright, let's go for it. So my goal is to set it up so that in the last harvest, I don't need to dove a cattle and that I can dove a sheep instead. And then when I do that, it'll go up to 4, which is a point value. My boar, which I bought here, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I can afford to eat 1 boar, or I take a boar for 1 extra point. Probably I'm not going to be able to hold 7 boar. I might be able to, actually. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna have a nice scoring farm. The question is, will it hold if these other players get all their stuff off? Like they manage to play and use everything? Like like if their game plan works out for them, then I'm done because I don't have hardly any major improvement point. I don't have any major improvement points. Not hardly. I have no major improvement points. And my point ceiling is not that high, which is a problem. Oh, field. Thank you, Vrindy. Fironics plays livestock keeper. Yeah, that helps out. Helps him out quite a bit. Oh, and of course I got Plowsow. Oh well, Plowsow is still a pretty good action. Yeah, I'll sow that, sure. I think I needed that to be family growth in order for me to have a chance to win. But I might be out of it already. I can't tell. Okay, how many more? I don't have that many more improvements I want to play, so I probably want to leave myself open to Renault fence in round 14. So that means the next time that I fence, I'm not going to fence everything. Um, or should I? Because I do want to make space for that next boar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I could fill up. And then I would have sheep, which would go to 4 here. Cattle stay at 3, and then my boar could go up to 6 with no more actions. Yeah. And then any stables I build will depend on wood in these next two rounds. My farm's at 27, which is decent, but compared to Stigsal, who has a good amount of points available still. Actually, Stigsal, well, plow, but and yeah, their fencing is okay. Yeah, I need to grab Breedstone food still. So do I do something like 6 clay Reedstone food? No, I think I gave up on cooking hearth already. So I do Reedstone food and then not sure. Bigfoot starting player Camembert. Hopefully he does plow so that I get family growth. That would make me very happy if that's what happens. I'm going to take fencing right away. Get a pair of sheep. And then my next action will be reedstone food. Oh, reedstone food is taken. So just as long as someone renos this round, we're okay. Everybody else is still able to reno. So what do I do since I can't reedstone food anymore? Do I take a cattle? Yeah, wood's not really available to me. Sow is not useful. What do I do here? Take a cattle? Take 5 clay? Six clay. Okay. Well, 6 clay also gives me options, like I don't have to reno improvement. I could always reno stone oven, or I could do stone oven instead of renovating, depending on the how things work out. Like I could hold off on renovating in round 13 to pressure the round 14 renovators, like Stigsal. I like Bigfoot's game. Pretty cool how that worked out. March. So return 2 animals to get 2 different animals to plow 2 fields. Very nice. Setting up a nice sow bake action here. Now Bigfoot, why does Bigfoot need all this stone? Because he's got 4 stone on the um, storehouse minder still. So I wonder what he's going to use it for. Maybe he's just trying to block Stigsal. Maybe he's eyeing Stigsal as his biggest opponent and wants to make it difficult. Oh, he's grabbing stone oven. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Just having a ton of points. He's got amazing animal points, and he should be able to fence 12, which will be enough with all those improvement points to win. So yeah, pretty nice game by Bigfoot. So I get my family growth, so that makes me happy. Next action, do I do starting player? How much is a sow bake worth for me? A sow bake is worth probably 4 food, 4 food and 2 points. Or not a sow bake. What am I talking about? Plow sow. Plow sow is probably worth about as much as family growth. So I just want to get one of those 2 actions. We'll see. Fironics starting player, yeah. Whenever you pass someone, this is why passing the field this late stinks. Because you encourage someone to do something like this, where why would you go and plow one field when you can pay 1 food more to get plow sow in round 14? Laid out like that to be clear where my animals are going. So I'll grab Reedstone food with my next action. And then yeah, and then what do I reno or not? So Fironics not being able to reno is huge actually, because he probably wants to reno fence. So it would be a pretty huge denial for him. Now, if I don't reno, what am I going to do instead? Like reno major is a 4-point action for me. That's probably like one of the best moves I have left. So denying him is probably not going to be worth it, because I think my biggest opponent is likely Bigfoot. Bigfoot's probably the leader right now. I would like someone to play Constable. That's what I would like. Although even if someone does, I still am short on 1 space. 1 space that I still need to fill, which I could do with like a stable, but I don't have any wood at the moment. Yeah, I have a pretty farm, but it's not looking like it'll be enough. Not enough. I'll probably score in the mid 40s, but the winner probably gets like 48 or 49. Actually, the winner probably cracks 50, because there's some pretty nice games happening by my opponents. They're playing well. Would things have been better for me if I had... Well, certainly I didn't play for round 5 family growth. Would things have been better for me if family growth came out in round 7? Probably, because I'm playing pretty farm. Pretty farm is stronger in late family growth games, because it's stronger over improvements when you have fewer actions. No, I don't breed that. I breed everything else, so that breeds into the house, that breeds into that pasture. So if I let those 2 breed and eat that, then I'm good for the last harvest. Let's see, what am I sitting at? Sitting at 42. So family growth is a 3-point action. Plow sow is a 2-point action. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of points left. Sowing is 1 point. Taking vegetables is 1 point. Actually taking animals is probably no points because I don't have room for any more animals. So yeah, I just have kind of crap all for points at the end of the game here, which is too bad. Yeah, so he has 31 points, but he still has no fencing done. So he's going to cover a bunch of points here. So the question, if you plan for round 5 family growth and it comes around 7, what are some good ways to maintain your game? Yeah, so doing multiple starting players. So I would. Okay, now maybe this is me not playing correctly, but I pretty much never play for round 5 family growth unless I have a ton of minors I want to play early. If you have a ton of minors that you want to play early, then going starting player so many times in a row doesn't hurt you so much, especially if you have minors that give you food, because if you do starting player a bunch of times in a row, feeding in that second harvest is really difficult. Now, being the first person to family growth is an advantage for sure, but like especially if me not playing for round 5 family growth, I would have been able to grow before Bigfoot almost no matter when it came. Um, Almost no matter when family growth would have come out. So I don't know. Um, I kind of play the percentages, honestly. Like I played for the 2/3 chance that family growth doesn't come out round 5, and I lost, and that happens, you know. Um, Sometimes you have to give up on sitting on starting player. Like if it's gonna destroy your game, then it's not worth it. Like because usually when you're sitting on starting player, the person after you benefits the most because they're getting the best actions like 6 clay, 4 wood, stuff like that. And then also they only need to starting player once to get second growth. So you have to evaluate, if I sit on starting player, can I still beat the person who's sitting after me? And I think that's not always the case. Oh, Fironics had unblockable Reno with friendly worker. That's nice. You can use the Reno space unblockably. You can also do so bake, but he doesn't have any crops to do. I hope Bigfoot fences here because he's worried about getting his one fence blocked by Stigsal. I unfortunately cannot block it, but Fironics can actually. So Fironics and Stigsal can. So yeah, he fences. Okay, cool. So I get family growth, which is good for me, but probably not going to be enough. So this is where I needed that to play that bone collector because I need the wood here to stable. Because if I stable, then I can hold more animals and I get the points from the stables. So at this point, I could have gotten 2 wood from bone collector, which is not a whole lot, but mm, yeah, I guess it's not all that much really. It's not. It's like pretty similar to me just taking wood and building a stable here. I don't have that many better choices. So Sticksall gets hurt a little here with the mayor candidate having that 1 wood sitting left over. Probably they have a way of using it, like a rake, I would imagine, because Sticksall went for that 5th plow pretty aggressively, so probably he's got rake, I would think. Um, my points, taking vegetable, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't have a lot of points left, and that's a big downfall for me that I don't. My point ceiling is not high enough to win. I could play Shepherd's Pipe and then take sheep. So if I do that, how will that work? So I can eat this boar, which I'm going to eat anyways, and then keep those three, and then I have my sheep. Oh, okay, but then Bigfoot takes sheep, so moot point. That's too bad. I could take boar here, and that's worth a point. I have multiple spaces that I can get the vegetable from. I don't have any points available to me from anything else. Yeah, taking two boar is a point. So I do that. I have to eat one of them. That works. Yeah, I'm still following the feeding rules. Yep. So I will play Shepherd's Pipe for 1 point because it's going to let me hold another sheep. And then my last action will be to take vegetable. Oh, animal buyer, nice from Stigsal. That's another way of getting more points. Take a quick look at the farms. Bigfoot's at 43. I'm sitting at 45. So I'm still a little bit ahead, but it's without points and breeding and stuff. But they might have to eat food, so who knows? Maybe I still have a chance. Maybe. So yeah, taking sheep here, playing Shepherd's Crock allows me to breed my cattle and breed my sheep and breed my boar. And then my last action will be to take one vegetable, which is a point. So I think I got a point from every action there. I think. I'm not sure if taking two boar was actually a point. No, I guess it had to have been. Because there's no way I could get to 7 otherwise. Yeah, so each of my actions are worth 1 point, but not sure if that'll be enough. Well, there's farm name sign for Stigsal, so that's nice. Everyone has a ton of food this game. This was a very food heavy game. Like we've got 7 food traveling players there, which is pretty funny. I guess Dancer puts a lot in, Dove Hunter, Animal Breeder put a bunch in, Walrus Breeder put a bunch in. Yeah. Then I'll do take vegetable for my last action. Okay, because these guys can stay in here. Those guys can stay in there, and then those are in those 2 pastures plus the house. And I end with max crops, max blah blah. Yeah. So I do have a pretty farm. Not sure if it's enough to win. I score 49. Oh, that's better than I expected. 49 is definitely a very strong score. Not sure if it's enough to beat Bigfoot. Oh, I beat Fironics by 1. I beat Stigsal by 3. So it's all on Bigfoot. How many points did he get from that rotate? Oh, he has 2 points from Boundary Stone that are uncounted. So it might be a tie. Wow. So I actually managed to tie for the win. So that's good. Better than I expected that game to end up. I definitely got lucky with family growth falling all the way to me. If it had been blocked, I would have lost a lot of points. But then, if Bigfoot had blocked me from it, then he might have had his fencing blocked. Yeah, so 49 points. That was better than I expected. With only one major and it being a cooking hearth. I guess I scored. This is very pretty. So I have 4 points from fields, pastures, grain, vegetables, boar. So in 5 categories, I scored the max, and then I got 2 points from sheep, 3 points from cattle. So yeah, pretty good game. Um, what could have gone better? If I had a way of turning animals into points a bit more efficiently, like while eating them or something. Like actually, you know what would have been good is oh, that card that was in the other game where you put for every cattle, 3 cattle, like for eating 4 cattle, you get 3 points, and for eating uh like 6 boar, you get 3 points. That would have been really good for me actually. So yeah. Yeah, they're talking about the how to break a tie. We've always played it that there's no tiebreaker. So yeah. Anyways, managed to score 49 points, which I'm pretty happy with. Um, Certainly, Animal Breeder plus Dove Hunter was great. Meant that that was a really good food engine for me. Dancer early on. I mean, it certainly helped Stigsal, but like I said, so Stigsal ends up with the worst score. And so Stigsal plays like Mare Candidate. Good Friend ended up being pretty garbage, only 2 wood and a reed. So every time you take an occupation that doesn't give you that much, it's nice. Like the patron puppeteer was great, but it also meant that it was difficult to take good occupations, like occupations that actually help your farm, like immigrant son, crop rotator, something like pear peeler. I love pear peeler. I think it's great. I think other people should draft it higher. Anyways, enough of all my disconnects and stuff. Thank you very much for watching. I'll take a look at this video and probably upload it to YouTube. There's a request for going over some of the basics, like how to raise your point ceiling and overview some of the food engines. I could do that, yeah. I think probably the most interesting thing to do would be if I just focused on talking about it a lot during a game. Like in this game, I set up my food engine as opposed to getting another family growth. So like me choosing to get my cattle breeding and eating them with Dove Hunter meant that my food was secure for the rest of the game instead of me going for a fourth person. And like a lot of it's not there's no hard fast rule for like which is better, setting up your food engine or growing or what, but generally you need to be able to think about how you're going to feed if you're going to grow again. And if you're going to spend a bunch of actions taking food, well, then that fourth person didn't gain you much other than getting you more food. Whereas me setting up my food engine meant I could ignore food for a long time, which I did, thanks to getting 6 food per harvest. So yeah, it ended up going pretty well. I'm happy. I was lucky that I still had 1 point actions available to me at the end and getting family growth. Because I have no chance to win if I don't get family growth. Because that's a 3 point action and it loses out on another. I would have had no points left to take at the end of the game. So, anyways, thank you very much for watching, you guys. And yeah, I've been, if you want to see when I go live, I've been posting on the channel feed. I'm not really sure how those updates go out, but on my Twitch channel, like I pull it up and say I'm trying to form a game. You know, the stream will go live once I get one. So if you want to give me a follow there, you'll be able to see that. You'll be able to ask me questions during the game, like Obsolete Human and Verindi did. And I like to hear from you guys. So thank you very much. That's all from me, and I'll see you guys next time.